On the track, man.
With my friends, we get turned up. We get turned up. We get turned up. And with my friends, we get turned up. We get turned up. We get turned up.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Briana Nashaé, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my illustrious university, Clark Atlanta. Alright, so I'm going to let you guys know all the info, my info as to why I chose Clark Atlanta, as well as some of the scholarship info, new student stuff, and all of that. For those of you who don't know, I am a second semester freshman at Clark Atlanta. My major is Mass Media Arts with a minor in Business Administration, and my concentration is Radio, TV, and Film. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my information. So I graduated high school with a 3.9 GPA, and I had to look up my SAT and ACT scores so I didn't remember. I had around an 1100 SAT score, which isn't amazing, but it's not terrible either. My ACT scores was a 24. My ACT scores were a 24. So I applied to 4 schools. I applied to Clark Atlanta University, Delaware State University, Western Connecticut State University, and alright, so here's my little story as to how I actually chose to go to Clark Atlanta. So my my top choice school was not Clark Atlanta University, it was Howard, and my second choice was actually going to be Spelman. So I went to Atlanta because I do have family there. I'm from the north, but I do have family in the south. So I went to Atlanta and I went on like a little college tour with my family. We went to see Spelman and Clark, and so I went to a day in my life at Spelman, and I actually didn't really like it. I didn't really get like a home type vibe from there. And then I went over to Clark, and sad to say, it was so disorganized that I didn't even get to see the school. So it came. Then a couple weeks later, I went on my tour of Howard, and I wasn't in love with it. However, I was so headstrong about going to Howard that I decided that I was still gonna apply. That was still my number one choice. If I got it, I would want to go. So eventually, applications started rolling in. I did get accepted to almost every school I applied to, and remember, I only applied to 4 schools. So applications started rolling in, and I kept getting emails from Howard saying my application is incomplete. So Howard and Clark actually kept saying my application was incomplete. So I eventually went and sent all my information to Howard, got that cleared. And then one day on my way to work, I was on the phone with one of the admissions directors from Clark Atlanta, and we were trying to figure out all my stuff because my SAT and ACT scores are missing, and then this was wrong and this was wrong. But at the time, I wasn't really I cared, but I wasn't as oh my gosh frantic as I was for Howard, just because I knew Howard was my first choice. So then after we got everything straightened out with Clark, that next morning I got my acceptance letter from Clark. I was excited, my parents were excited, don't get me wrong, but I still had it set in my mind that I was gonna go to Howard. So fast forward a couple months, and I had already got accepted to Delaware State, Western Connecticut, and Clark, and so I was still waiting on my acceptance from Howard. And so I started seeing a bunch of people were getting accepted and declined or whatever, and I was like, alright, maybe I need to start looking into other schools and universities. So I started to look into WestCon a little bit more, and I kind of had got my mind set on, alright, if I can't go to Howard, WestCon will be my next choice. So I looked it up, and then also I ended up watching videos of Clark Atlanta, and I was like, this school really doesn't look that bad. Even though I had a bad first impression of it, I'm really starting to open up the idea of possibly going to Clark, just because I knew I really did want to go to HBCU. So the more videos I watched, the more interested I got into Clark Atlanta. So I started to look into their scholarships, their institutional scholarships, and eventually I found one that fit me perfectly. So the time here rolled around for the last day for me to apply to get a scholarship for Clark, and I still hadn't heard back from Howard. So I applied for my scholarship for Clark, and I ended up getting it. And so by that time, my mind was so set. My mind was so like open to new opportunities. I was like, going to Clark really couldn't be that bad. So I paid the $475 and decided I was gonna go to Clark. Even though I was still a little upset that I didn't hear back from Howard at all, like I didn't get an acceptance or a decline letter, I was actually really excited to go to Clark Atlanta. Don't get me wrong, even though I wasn't heart set on Clark Atlanta at first, I did, even before I moved in, I did grow to love the school, and I just was excited for like the new environment that I would be exposed to going to HBCU, and especially going to Atlanta. Just I always knew I did want to go to school. I'm going to be telling you guys what you need to get into Clark. So, to get into Clark Atlanta University, you need a 900 math and critical reading SAT score, a combination of the two, a 19 ACT score, and a 2.5 GPA. Clark can kind of look for like well-rounded students, so playing a sport throughout the years, but also having good grades, also doing some student leadership. They don't want somebody who just has the grades portion. They want someone who can show them that they're ready for college and for being active in their community and still maintaining a high GPA. For me, my application consisted a lot. My grades were the highest portion since I did graduate with a 3.9 GPA. However, I went to 3 high schools, so being in one place for once was a big problem for me on my application, and I knew that would cause eyebrows to raise, I should say. So my application, what kind of helped me out is that I was a co-captain for the step team my senior year, that I did cheerleading while I was there, I did softball, I had volunteer hours on it. I also had volunteer for my mother's company, from tutoring, a whole bunch of other stuff like that. So for my application, it wasn't just my grades, it was a little bunch of everything, and that's what made me the word is on the tip of my tongue, a well-rounded, I guess I could say again, candidate for Clark Atlanta and any other college that I do. Another thing that really opened my eyes to going to Clark Atlanta University, as I did say, was the scholarships that they offered. Clark Atlanta offers institutional scholarships, as well as they're partnered with United Negro College Funds. So a lot of those scholarships you can easily get by just saying you're going to an HBCU. So I had got the Dean Scholarship, which only covered my tuition. However, I did get another outside scholarship with the Hort Foundation that covered it was $4,000 a year. So for me, I'm using that towards my meal plan. Every freshman is required to have the highest level of meal plan. It's unlimited swipes, but believe me, it does come in handy. My recommendation to everyone is to apply early action if you have not already, or if you're looking at this for the next year. Apply early action, because for me, by applying early action, I got first choice at getting a scholarship. They only have so many to give out to all the students, so by me applying early, I was able to get the scholarship and be guaranteed that scholarship instead of having to look for one later on down the line. That scholarship actually covered most of my college fund. Besides that, in my other scholarship, I only have a loan out for around $5,000 a year, which really isn't terrible compared to what a lot of people have out to pay for their college loans. To pay for their college education, I should say. Alright, so next I'm going to be talking to you guys about the honors program. I am part of the Isabel T. Jenkins honors program here at Clark Atlanta University. Well, I'm actually at home, so at Clark Atlanta University. To be part of the honors program, I believe you need at least a 3.2 GPA. Being part of the honors program, I am required to take 11 honors courses throughout the course of my matriculation at Clark Atlanta University. But that's going to guarantee that, well, it's going to help me. So when I graduate, I'll graduate with an honors degree rather than just a normal one. So far, I do enjoy being in honors. I should admit that I'm not as active in it as I should be. However, I do really feel connected with my honors program brothers and sisters, and I'm really happy that I chose to do it. I actually submitted my application the day before the last day to submit it. And what they do is you can either apply to be part of the honors program, but in most cases they reach out to you and let you know that they're interested in having you as a part of the program. You'll be sent a packet to complete. You're going to need I believe 2 recommendations, and other than that, you just have to write really good essay. It's gonna prompt you with a question and all of that, of course. So next, I'm gonna talk to you guys about NSO. Alright, New Student Orientation. NSO is your first week at Clark Atlanta University. So it's gonna be before the sophomore, juniors, and seniors arrive. The freshmen are the only ones allowed on campus. My experience was so much fun. I actually met my closest friends that I have as of right now during NSO week. Alright, so during this week, you're gonna be given groups. What was my group? I forgot my group. Oh, Scholars. I was part of the Scholars. That was the name of the group. So there's Scholars, Matriculators, Prestige, Talented 10, I believe. It's just, you're given a bunch of group names. Everyone's split up. It's supposed to help you to meet some new people. They're gonna give you, you're gonna get like a layout of how the week goes. From what I remember, even though like it wasn't that long ago, but it was still long ago. From what I remember, we had a lot of time we were sitting around, we were learning chants for like Olive Branch, for like the university chants. We were learning history of the university. There was a scavenger hunt to help us remember some of that history as well. We were given tours of like the library, the campus. A lot of the time, oh my god, it was so early in the morning though. We did volunteer work. We a lot of times you're sitting in classes, excuse me, and you're learning about the history of the university, building your brand, your character, what it is to be professional, to have like a professional-esque mentality now that you're coming to college from high school. Also, you're gonna have to sit through a couple other lectures. I'm sorry, I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but it was like a lot of lectures to ensure your success as a Clark Atlanta University student and even in the outside world. Another thing, during NSO, the #1 rule is you're not allowed to wear Clark Atlanta paraphernalia until the last day when you are inducted into Clark Atlanta University, which makes you an official student of Clark Atlanta. So for us, I know a lot of us were upset about it. However, I do understand that like the history and tradition behind being inducted into a university. And the best part of all about NSO is Olive Branch. Olive Branch is basically a big giant kickback with Spelman, Morehouse, and Clark Atlanta, the main schools that make up the AUC or Atlanta University Center. You're gonna get an Olive Branch shirt. Ours was navy blue. It was actually a really cute shirt. And you're gonna go over to King's Chapel. You're gonna go to King's Chapel. You're going to, first you're gonna get your Spelman sister if you're a girl and your Morehouse brother if you're a boy. Me and my Spelman sister actually, we're not extremely close, but she actually is a really good friend of mine, and I actually really do like her. She's really cool. Her name is Kayla. And then later on down the line, I do have a Morehouse brother. His name is Tariq, but I did not actually get him at Olive Branch. I actually just got him recently, but that's another story. So you go to King's Chapel, and there's a big ceremony, a unity ceremony. It promotes the unity of all 3 schools. Since you guys are part of the same class, for us it was 2020 a perfect vision. And at Olive Branch, we had a couple speakers, some singing, some turn up, and then after you leave King's Chapel, you go to the field. I don't remember exactly whose field it was. I'm sorry. However, you go and they have food. They have a giant concert going on. The band's playing. It's so fun. It's so much fun. Me and my friend Dominique hung out with our Spelman sisters that night. We had a whole bunch of fun. Olive Branch is literally the best part of new student orientation, just because you get to meet people from the other schools. I have so many friends now that I met the night of Olive Branch that are still really close to me. Like, it's not just for the night, it actually really does carry out through your freshman year and hopefully through my next 4 years at Clark Atlanta. And the final part of new student orientation is induction. Induction is the white dress ceremony. You're supposed to wear a white dress. It can be spaghetti strap as long as it's like a thick strap, but no sleeveless, no thin strap. Your back can't be out. It has to be like knee length. and you have to wear black heels. They have to be closed-toed, and you're supposed to wear flesh tone tights, even though a lot of people really didn't, but you're supposed to, but they're not gonna check for it. And this is when you get inducted into the university as a student of Clark Atlanta University. For ours, it rained, so they had to push it back, so we didn't actually get inducted until after classes started. And we didn't get the whole induction process. Usually there's like a candle lighting ceremony that goes on. Ours was in our student center in the multi-purpose room, and it was still a very nice experience. Even though it wasn't a traditional experience, it did help me feel like a new student at Clark Atlanta University. I'm happy I got to go through that experience with the school and with the rest of my classmates. Alright, next up, I'm going to talk about a little bit about dorming at Clark Atlanta University. Me, I stay in the Suites 2005. Alright. As a freshman, you can stay in either Suites, Mariner, Pfeiffer, or Holmes. The Suites have the 100 and 200 side. And starting this year, for the boys, and usually they were in the Suites 200 building, but now since there's so many girls, the boys were pushed into Beckwith. So the way a traditional, I have friends who stay in the traditional dorms. However, me and a lot of the people I know actually do stay in the Suites. The way the traditional dorms are set up, I'll start with that first. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, so it's 2 people for every 1 room. I believe there's 2 bathrooms on each of the floors, and each bathroom has 3 stalls, toilets, and 3 showers. So there's never a time where you're really looking for a shower, and those bathrooms get cleaned 3 times a day, I want to say. However, they do get cleaned daily. You are not required to clean it. And for a room in the traditionals, it's 2 people to 1 room, so you do have a direct roommate. What Clark Atlanta does for your housing, there's a profile that you fill out, and in that profile you list how you like living, what you're into, a little bit about yourself, so they can either match you or you can find someone who you feel is compatible to live with. Therefore, you don't end up with like a bad roommate situation in the end, and you feel comfortable sleeping with them. And basically it makes your freshman year a lot easier living with someone that you feel comfortable with. They do that for both the traditionals, Beckwith, and the Suites. For the Suites, however, it is still 2 people to 1 room. However, there's different options. You can get a super suite, which is 1 person on one side and 1 person on the other side in a connecting bathroom. You can get a 4-person suite, which is what I believe I have. I have 2 people on one side and 2 people on the other. However, right now I do not have a roommate, and we all share a bathroom, so I have my 2 suite mates and then me as of right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a new roommate with the upcoming semester. So the difference between living in the Suites and living in traditionals, you do share a bathroom with the whole floor. However, there's so many bathrooms and it's so clean that it's really not a problem. In the Suites, you do share a bathroom with either 1 other person if you have a super suite, or 3 other people if you have a regular suite, as I do. And in that case, you have to buy your own cleaning supplies. You're responsible for cleaning your own bathroom. But usually what they say is that the Suites is for the people who either don't have siblings or might be the only girl like I am. And then the traditionals are for the people who like more of a sisterly bond. I enjoy living in the Suites. However, I wouldn't oppose living in the traditionals, just because you do get a really traditional and like bond living there. I know all of my friends who live in traditionals are really close with all the other people who do live in traditionals, so they have like no issue with their friends. It's kind of hard to explain. However, living in the Suites is actually very fun, and I really do like it. Alright, so the last part of this video is things to do in the AUC, in the Atlanta University Center. So since I've been in the AUC, I've always had something to do. I went to the BET Awards. I've met countless celebrities. You never know who's going to be on campus, guys. Seriously. I've met A Boogie. I've met, he wasn't on campus. I met him at Walmart down the street. But still, just being in Atlanta, I've met so many celebrities. I've met A Boogie. I've met 21 Savage. I went to the Hip Hop BET Awards. to watch how it was taped. I got so many opportunities being in Atlanta, and really guys, your college experience is what you make it. If you choose to sit in your room, you're not gonna have a fun time versus if you choose to get out there and do stuff. Like, I participated in the first ever CAU Dorm Wars. It was a dance competition between the freshman dorms. I had so much fun. Sweet life. It was so much fun. We won. I did cheered for a CAU 20 versus CAU 19 basketball game. I'm part of the Spirit Boosters, so I get to cheer on our teams. Being at Clark Atlanta, it's opened my eyes to so much more than just the normal sitting in the house like I do back home. Being in Atlanta, I get to travel, I get to travel, I get to see new people and meet new people every single day, and I'm extremely grateful for my experience at Clark Atlanta University. And I can really only hope for it to continue to be as amazing as it already is. I've met some lifelong friends already, and I only know as time goes on, I'm only going to meet more. It's only going to be more fun. In the end, I'm so happy I chose to go to Clark Atlanta University. Even though at the beginning, I wasn't as sure as I could have been, I do love my HBCU, and I'm happy I chose to go there. I have so many ideas and so many things I want to accomplish while being at Clark Atlanta University, and I know being at my school is gonna give me that push that I need to get there. When I got to Clark Atlanta, I didn't feel like I was at a college. I felt like I was at home. Even now when I'm visiting home, I always say I'm ready to go back home, just because Clark Atlanta has such like a warm feeling with the students and faculty, OGs, your orientation guides, and all of that. You always just feel so much support that I don't think I'm gonna find in another university. They say everybody has a college that's perfect, that's right for them. No college is actually like perfect. Don't get me wrong, Clark Atlanta and CAU 20 isn't perfect. However, I know that this is where I want to spend my next 4 years. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. Even though I'm only a freshman, I'm only about to be a second semester freshman, I already feel like I have a lot of insight on Clark Atlanta, and I know every day I'm learning new stuff about it. So I hope this video helps answer a couple questions that any new students, freshmen coming in, or transfers might have about the institution. But if you have any more, don't be scared to leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer any question that you might have. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see more videos like this, just let me know. I'm so excited for this new channel for 2017. I have a lot of things in store for you guys, so just keep watching. Bye.